Hey YouTube, what's up? Yeah. So remember how I said I was gonna have this big vlog thing of me in New York and the, Skrillex videos and stuff? Yeah, that didn't happen. Sorry. So instead, you'll have to deal with me telling you about it. And you'll kind of understand why I couldn't actually get video of New York. Skrillex, they didn't allow you to film, and I thought, so I didn't take my camera, but apparently you could because I saw cameras there. Whatever. But I guess let's start from the beginning. Um, so actually, let's start right now. Actually, so it's 3:50 p.m. on October 6th, and I woke up about 2 hours ago. Um, yeah, I'm just tired. I'm so tired from yesterday. It was an insane day. Lots of things to be remembered. So now, beginning. Um, okay, so my day started 3 a.m. So um, I take a shower and all that stuff. I get ready to leave at 4, and I go to DC for to go to Union Station for a train at 5:30. A train going to New York. So I get on the train and I go, hey, I'm gonna start the vlog on the train at 5:30 in the morning. No, that didn't happen. I was too tired, and there was businessmen on there, and I was just like, I don't want to, disturb them or anything, because I'm the only person not in a suit. Like, it was kind of, I'm in a tank top, a sweatshirt, and basketball shorts, and Vans. And I'm like, everyone else is in a tie and a suit, all that nice stuff, and I'm like, I feel so awkward here. Um, so yeah, 5:30. I'm going on the train. I'm like, I'm not doing a video. I get about an hour's worth of good sleep, and the rest of the sleep, I'm like, not really asleep. It's like when you just close your eyes but you're still awake. It was that sleep. So that comes around, and finally I get to New York at about 8:45 ish. 8:45 I get to New York. Um, and from right there, I'm nervous I'm nervous this whole morning because it's the first time I've gone to New York by myself. I'm on the train by myself. I'm doing all this stuff by myself for the first time. So I go, and I'm just like, awestruck because I'm in New York by myself, and it's like 9 o'clock. And so, of course, the first thing I do, I get some coffee. Um, the coffee was shit. It was so bad. Um, yeah, I was very disappointed in that. But then I go to the audition, and I stretch. And um, for those of you that don't know, I'm a dancer. So I dance. That's what I went for. I went for an audition for the Carnival cruise line to dance on there. Um, and usually the way these things work is the other auditions I've been done in 30 minutes to an hour. Um, because it's very simple. Like usually, like the ones I've been to before, they teach you a small combination, like maybe a minute long, um, and then from there on, they're like, "Thank you, that you stay. Everyone else, thank you very much," and you're done. So it's really fast. But this time the guy he kept more people, and it was a longer process because he wanted to like make sure he was getting what he actually wanted. So that was nice. But so first the guy he took all the guys, and there were like 12 guys. The choreographer took the 12 guys there and taught us the combination. We learned it, and then he did all the girls, and we had a lot more room in that studio. There were like 50 girls there, and he divided that up to 25, I think. Like he just split them in half and like taught them the combination. But that room was small. Like they had no room to move, which sucks for girls. But so everyone learned the combination, and then he had the guys do it. Like he had some of the girls do it, and he cut them. And so the girls got whittled down, and then all the guys went and did it. He's like, I'm gonna keep you all. So we're like, yay, cool. And then he taught another combination, and that led into the other combination, which made it like one big combination. And that what that is, and then so then we had this big combination. Then he split us into like groups of 5. If in the guy's case, it was groups of 4. 4? Yeah, he split the girls into groups of 5 and the guys into groups of 4. Um, well, 2, 4, and 3. And then that's when he started making the real cuts, and like that's when everyone just started getting whittled down, and there was like from like 30 girls to like 15 girls, so he cut like at least half. And the guys, I was in the first group of guys, and he kept all of us, but he kept all of us. So like this was at the point where if you're let go, you don't have the job, but if you're kept, you have the job. So he kept us, and I'm like, woohoo! But I sort of got the job. So I'm on file. I'm someone he would hire, but it just depends on if they can get someone my size, because I'm 5'9", and you know, if a girl's, it's just a whole look thing. They want the guy here and the girl here, so it just depends on what they want exactly. So I sort of have a job. They'll call me if they need me, which is pretty awesome. And so the audition went from 10 o'clock. The audition schedule it started at 10 o'clock, but I was there at like 9:15, and it went like to about 2 o'clock. Now I had to train at 2 o'clock to get back to Baltimore. So the whole time I'm looking at the clock, and it's like 12:30. I'm like, okay, I have plenty of time, and the groups are going. The groups of 5, the girls are going, and then all of a sudden it's 1 o'clock, and I'm like, oh god. And then it's like 1:15, and I'm looking at the clock, like I have to leave. And then finally I dance at about 1:30, and then the guy, the choreographer says, all this stuff, and about the height and whatever, and I'm like, okay, so I have to go catch a train at 2 o'clock, and he was like, oh yeah. I was like, thank you very much, and thanking him a lot because I had to leave early, and so I'm there. I plan to like change, like I planned the audition to be like like every other audition where it was going to be kind of quick. Like I was expecting to be done at 12. I was expecting to have 2 hours of free time to do whatever I wanted. That didn't happen. So I was going to change and like wash my face and all that stuff just to get a little bit clean. No, I had time to wash my face, put on a pair of pants, and I had to run to Union Station. So I'm this kid in a gray tank top, blue jean. That's not really weird, but I'm a kid in a tank top, running in New York City to Penn Station, with 15 minutes left. So I had 15 minutes to get there. Okay, so when I left the room, I had 15 minutes to get there. By the time I got out of the building, I had 10 minutes to get there. It takes 10 minutes to walk there, and my train wasn't 10 minutes. I'm sprinting to Penn Station. I'm running through people. I'm pretty sure I ran in front of a car. So I'm running. I finally get there, and I have no idea where to go. I don't have my ticket out or anything. I have no idea where the gate is. So as I'm running, I have my bag in front of me, and I'm unzipping my bag, finding my ticket. I pull it out, I zip it back up, and I do that. I'm reading it while running to not run into someone, and I have no idea where to go. So I see like a desk at a gate, and I go, "Hey, where's the train to DC?" And then she's like, "Can I see your ticket?" And I'm like, "Sure." She gives me a ticket. She's like, "Oh, it's right there." And like she's here. The thing's right here. And I'm like, "Oh my god, thank you." So I run over there, and they haven't even started boarding. I got there with 5 minutes left. Like, they haven't started boarding, they haven't done it, and there's this huge line that, like, has to go through this little funnel thing. Because then the reason why I was worried is because at DC, the train boarded, like, 5 minutes, 5-10 minutes before it left. So, I was like, oh, crap, they're probably already boarding, and I might miss the train, and blah, blah, blah. But no, they don't, and everyone's just, like, packed around this little thing. And it really was little, because they have to check your ID and the tickets. And so picture, and so like the entrance to the thing was like this, like it had 2 lanes kind of. So it was like a thing in the middle, and then people could walk through like this, and it was small, but it was like a clump. It literally was a funnel, and so they actually opened 2 gates because like the train was the east train, east trains. They actually opened the west terminal for people to go into the east train. Like that's how busy it was. And then from there on, you went down this, like, legit, it was like a tube. It was like a little, like, Space Mountain at Disney World, where you, like, when you're going up and there's just, like, this little claustrophobic tube thing? Yeah, that's what it was when you're going down to get to the train. Very weird. But, so you get to the train, I got on the train, and I'm just like, I'm just breathing. I'm like freaking out because I was just running. I'm sweaty, and I'm just like, okay, whatever. And I breathe, and then I change on the train. So I pretty much did my hair and all that stuff on the train. Um, and I'm starving. I haven't eaten. The only thing I ate that day was eggs at 3:45 in the morning, and that crappy cup of coffee. So I had nothing to eat. So I'm like, I asked the guy, I'm like, do you have a food cart? And he's like, yes. I'm like, woo! So that made me really happy. Um, so yeah, I eat on the train. Um, I get off, and then so I'm going home, and I don't get off at DC because I have Skrillex in Baltimore. So I get off at the BWI train station thing, um, and da 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 da. And this is where the day turned bad, but it did get better. So I took my mom's Nook on there to read, which I didn't really do much of that because I was asleep. And if I was going to read on the way back, I would have fallen asleep. And I didn't want to fall asleep because I might miss the stop or whatever. Um, and I forgot it on the train. And I forgot my glasses on the train too. My glasses I didn't care about. I knew I forgot. I saw I forgot my glasses earlier. I was like, oh, whatever. They were like, $10 glasses, whatever. But I forgot the Nook. I was pissed. Like that just ruined my day. Um, and I'm stuck in BWI because my dad was stuck in traffic for like 30 minutes. So I'm stuck in BWI for 30 minutes, mad, pissed off, hating the world. And finally he comes. I get in the car and I'm still, brooding. And then they're like, it's okay. It's just, it was just a thing, whatever. And I'm just like, whatever. The day does get better. Everything does become better. And we're on our way to Ram's Head. And so that ends the New York portion. Okay, so the New York portion is done. Now we're on to the Skrillex show. We're driving to Baltimore. And I have a Red Bull from the train, and I'm like chugging that thing because I need to wake up because in the state I was then, I could have fallen asleep while at the Skrillex show. Like, I was tired. And yeah, we're going to Ram's Head. We walk in, and the moment we walk in, like, we open the door to Ram's Head. That's the venue, by the way. We open the door to Ram's Head, and there's a line against the wall. And that line is like 10, 15 feet away from the door. So there's already a line, and the doors opened at 7. We got that about 6:15, and we didn't know when the doors opened. We just went there, and we were like, oh hey, doors. We read the sign, doors don't open till 7. Oh, we're here early, whatever. We walk in, and there's this huge line, and we're like, great. So there's this huge line, and by the time 6:45 comes around, the place is packed, it's like a sauna in there already, and oh, it was horrible. But and then we get the ticket, and then it's funny. So my dad goes and gets the tickets, and me and my brother are waiting in line to save our spot, and then my dad comes back. He's like, "Do you have your wallet with you?" I'm like, "Yeah." He's like, "Do you have your ID?" Yeah. He's like, "Come with me." He's like, and then I'm like, "Okay." And I ask why, and apparently the tickets were in my name, and so they needed my ID to get it, even though they're on his credit card, which sort of doesn't make sense since he was like, here's the credit card. This is the credit card. He's like, we need the ID, so I had to give the ID, and so I made fun of my dad because he can't buy his own ticket. He can't get his own tickets. Haha. But anyways, besides that. So finally, we start being able to move into the show, and they're marking people, under 21, blah, blah, blah. We go up the balcony, and I dead mouse, I was like, next time at Skrillex concert, I'm going to the pit, for the opening and all that stuff, for the opening acts. And I was like, yeah, I'm not doing that this time. So I'm sitting there, and Not a Strom is on. And they come out, and I'm like, hey, that guy kind of looks like Skrillex, but whatever. But they come on, and they play, and I'm like, holy shit, this is awesome. Like, they are freaking amazing, and everyone's jumping, and I was like, damn it, I want to be in the pit. And so I was pissed because I didn't go in the pit, even though I said I would. So finally, after Not a Strom, I go in the pit, and during Foreign Beggars, and Foreign beggars weren't bad, but I just think they were in the wrong thing, because they're it was like a it was they're rappers. So it was like a rap show sort of, which I didn't mind, but it was like everyone else was kind of like, yeah, cool rappers. And it's kind of funny because the pit, let's say, was like this big here. Wait, shift, damn, stupid camera. It's like this big. This little circle here in the center was the only part that was actually jumping and energetic and stuff, and the section I was in was just like, yeah, alright, jump, yeah, my arm's up, as close as I'm getting. It was like, oh, great. Um, yeah, so Foreign Beggars was there. They played Scata. Everyone went ape shit over Scata, which, it's understandable because it's Skrillex, and we went there for Skrillex, so we were like, yeah! But halfway through, what's that? Foreign Beggars, that's their name. Halfway through Foreign Beggars, I meet this, this chick is like in front of me, and she's with a friend. They're like holding hands and like get lost or whatever, and like the friend's very like, she looked like shy and timid and stuff, like she didn't want to be there, and there's a girl like grinding on me, and I'm like, okay, whatever, I don't mind, and then she looks back at me, and she just kind of like smiles, and I'm like, okay, whatever, and so I'm with this chick, for like, and my sister just came and like, as she saw, as I'm dancing with this chick. Okay, so I'm dancing with this chick for half of Foreign Beggars and like half of majority of 12th Planet, which I don't even remember just because of this chick. That 12th Planet was in the background, and I really didn't even get to like hear him because I was too busy with this chick, and which kind of sucked. And I ditched the chick during like the last 10 minutes of 12th Planet, and that was awesome. So yeah, the chick is done. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I danced with the chick. End of story. um, um, yeah, so I finally ditch her, and I go into like the middle area, because like when I'm with her, there's like the crowd is like keeps pushing back and forth, and like we're all falling, and she's grabbed. I love how I say I'm done with the chick story, and I'm still talking about the chick, but we're pushing, and she's holding on to me like so she doesn't lose me, and finally like she lets go, and like I do something, and I like weasel my way out of there, and I'm like away from her. I'm like, I'm good, and like I move away, and I'm still in like eyesight of her, and like some guy's behind her, and she just like looks at me and looks back at the guy, and she's like, okay, I can do this, and so she goes with some random guy. I'm like, cool, go me. I'm gonna enjoy the show now. And the mosh pit was crazy. People were pushing back and forth. We're like all jumping and stuff, and we're getting sweaty. And but it was at this point where I'm like, okay, I'm spent. I'm starting to feel the effects of waking up at 3 o'clock and dancing for like 5 hours in a really hot New York room. And so I'm like, I'm getting dehydrated. I might puke. I'm whatever. So I finally push my way out of there, and the thing is, when you try and like move, people always like, dude, what the fuck is wrong with you, man? Don't get in front of me. And so there's always that awkward moment where you're like, I'm going out, and they're like, oh, okay, yeah, go. And so I push my way out, and I get water. I chug that, and then I'm drinking the ice, and I try and go back into the pit. And at this point, 12th Planet's done. Skrillex's set is like, getting built, and Skrillex finally like, comes up, whatever. I have this cup of water, and I'm back in the pit, and that cup of water, that glass of ice, that ice, it was just a cup of ice. 5 minutes in the pit, it was water. I was like, all right. And so I'm in the pit, and everyone's still doing the pushing thing or whatever, and there's a drink spilled on me, and I'm like, is that water? And I smell, I'm like, no, that's vodka. So I have vodka spilled on me. This cup of water, which I'm spilling on people too, and on me, and I'm just like, what the hell? So I'm like, you know what? I'm getting out of the pit. So during Skrillex's set, I'm out of the pit, and I refill my water, and I walk upstairs where my dad and brother are. They don't like the pit. And so I go up there, and I just walk up there, and so my outfit was jeans, a white shirt, and a shirt over it. I looked pretty good, I thought I looked pretty good. And it was like a pretty decent, like it wasn't like a skin tight shirt, but it was like, It was like a regular long sleeve shirt. Um, by the time I got out of the pit, the thing was legit this big around me, and it was drenched in my sweat, other people's sweat, alcohol, and I'm like pushing it up. You know, like it's now like it's now like a short sleeve shirt, and my pants are down like you know how those I think they're idiots for wearing their pants down low, where you know half their butts hanging out. My pants look like that. I didn't mean for them to look like that, but they look like that because you know of all the sweat just bringing them down. Um, my shoelace came untied too in the pit, and this is what the Vans shoelace looks like. You know, they're a little bit dirty, but you know for the most part they're white. That was my one shoe. My other shoe looks like this. There's gum on there. There's dirt. There's mud. It's just nasty. I might need new shoelaces because of it. But y'all. So I finally so back to I go up on the balcony. My dad's like, "You're not in the pit," and I was like, "No, I can't do the pit anymore." So I quit the pit, and the whole balcony area is like dancing and partying. So I'm like, you know what? I can do this. There's no pushing. There's no shoving. There's no sweat. There's no drinks. I can do this. So I'm up there on the pit dancing or whatever, freaking out. You know, everyone's freaking out because Skrillex, and Skrillex's show was insane. Like his light show wasn't as good as deadmau5's, but he had these like pillars, and like they look like kind of Cubert-y. Like they were like Cubert, and like there was like a projection on there that like it looked so real. Like it looked like there was actual machinery moving there, and like they was just doing stuff, and then like it would be liquidy. And then Skrillex came out, and he had like this headband on, and I'm going, why the fuck is he wearing a headband? If his hair's too long, cut it. So I tell him to so you know whatever. I do that, and I realize that, and then the headband. So then I pull the balcony. There's this projection of like a robot thing, and there's this robot thing, and like he's moving with Skrillex. I'm going, hey, you know that's kind of cool. They choreographed Skrillex movement to the thing. No, that didn't happen. It was actually a mocap suit. Because like he's doing everything. Like Skrillex messed with his hair. Then the projection little robot thing did that, and I was like, oh my god, it's following him. So it was really cool. And we're dancing up there, you know, having a good time. There's this chick over there. She has red hair, like not like ginger, but like she dyed her hair red. Kind of cool. She's in a skirt, fishnets, these fuzzy boot leg warmer thingies, and a bra. So obviously I noticed her at first. You know, I'm like, oh hey, you know, whatever. And I'm dancing up there, and like I keep looking at her because she was beautiful. And I finally, for like 10 minutes, I'm trying to get the strength to like, you know, ask her name. You would think, you know, being a dancer hanging around with girls all the time, I'd be fine with that, but I'm not. So, you know, finally I ask her, and she says her name, and I'm like, you're beautiful. And she's like, thanks. And it didn't sound like that, but, you know, and so we're still doing the dancing or whatever. And at the end of the show, you know, okay, I'm not really talking about Skrillex, am I? I'm talking about my experience more. Skrillex was awesome. We all know this. It was freaking epic. Cinema came on. Everyone's singing Cinema. Everyone's singing Cinema. He played like three remixes of Scary Monsters, and then the real thing at the end. Everyone's like, yes! Oh my god! He played Roughneck Bass. Oh, like not the flex or whatever, the full flex. Not Roughneck. He played Roughneck Bass. It's an unreleased track. And I love that one. And he played it. I started freaking out because I love that one. I didn't think he would play it because it was unreleased, but it was awesome. Reptile came on, and everyone's freaking out because of Reptile. Equinox came on. Equinox was just awesome. Everyone's like, oh, now, and everyone's freaking on the drop. Oh, Skrillex was awesome. What do you want me to say? He was freaking amazing. I'm never going to forget this concert for many reasons. So finally, Skrillex is done. He's like, yeah, woohoo, you know, awesome. Everyone's cheering. And then that chick, like, leaves, like, she's, like, moving away or whatever. And then I'm like, I'm going to go ask, you know, because so it was, like, her, and then the guy was, like, on a rail, and she would, like, they would talk to each other. And I'm like, why is the guy, I was like, are they dating? I was like, if so, why is he in front of her? But, so I finally asked, I was like, is that your boyfriend? She's like, no. And I was like, do you have one? She's like, no. Do you want my number? I was like, yes. So I got her number. What? Yeah, she's beautiful. The only bad side, she lives in Maryland and in some town I've never heard of. Whatever. That's what driving's for. But yeah, it was an awesome day. Even if some bad things, even if I forgot the Nook and stuff, but it was awesome. But of course, I can't talk about October 5th, 2011 without talking about Steve Jobs' death. Um, so I found out during Not a Strong, and um, I'm on my phone. I was texting people, and I went out to Twitter just to like update my just a tweet about something, and I'm seeing all these my Twitter feed. It's rest in peace, Steve. Like from like all the people like G4 and just like the tech industry, and I'm going, wait, what? So I told my dad, and we're both like dumbstruck, and all of a sudden like the show just kind of became quiet, really, even though it was blaring. Everything like it just got cut out, and we're both like looking it up, and found out he died, and it was just like, wow, like he's dead. Like it was weird. So yeah, that was just kind of strange. It put a downer on the show for like 10 minutes. Yeah, it was just weird. To think that I'm at a Skrillex concert when Steve Jobs died. Yeah. So this video is a little bit long, a little bit under 30 minutes. I hope you watch the full thing. Well, if you're this far, obviously you watch the full thing. So yeah, that was my awesome day. I'm dehydrated, sleepy, and I'm really sore. My legs from my whole body's sore from the dance. My shoulders sore from my pecs, like from here down, like here down. I'm sore from New York. From like here up, I'm sore from Skrillex. My shoulder's killing me. My neck is killing me. I didn't realize why my neck was killing me until I realized I was headbanging a lot. That's why. So yeah. All right. Peace out, YouTube.